Now I am going to try to live stream a different satellite. Most of these days I have been live streaming contacts or trying to contacts through amateur radio on International Space Station. This time another satellite, ASRTU AO-123. That's not active continuously but only intermittently. Today morning, just after Belgaum net, due to Juliet Echo Kilo, AMSAT India Secretary told me that this pass is coming up soon, so I'm trying to have a look at it. I have tuned my radio to the frequency. You can see that I have put the uplink and downlink frequencies. Uplink frequencies where we transmit is 145.850. Of course, Doppler tracking is required. And then the downlink is 435.400 nominal. I have kept 10 kilohertz above, taking into consideration the Doppler shift at the beginning of the pass. I am monitoring in a separate window in the laptop using G-Predict Amateur software. The software tells me that the pass is due in 2 minutes 20 seconds. The satellite is now at minus 7.2 degrees elevation and at a distance of 3,300 kilometers. And the Doppler shift will be shown live there, and I will be trying to tune Doppler in my radio accordingly. So far I have been able to have only a single contact using this satellite AO-123, mainly because it is intermittent. Secondly, the signals may not be that great from me, but I tried once or twice. Once I was very lucky to have a first and only contact as a DX contact from Thailand, Echo 21, Echo Juliet Charlie also, I think. That was a good signal in that day. That was a good pass also. Now it's a western pass for me, and the maximum elevation is only about 20 degrees. So I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get the signals from AO-123, but I'm hopeful because due to Juliet Echo Kilo has promised to be there during the pass. And after this pass, then there is another International Space Station pass coming up at 10:22 IST in this region. There will be an eastern pass. So after this live stream trial, I'll have to go upstairs and turn my antenna in the opposite direction so that it can pick up the International Space Station. Currently, it is about 30 seconds away. The pass will start now here in this region. This live stream shows only the radio. That is my IC2730A radio only is shown. The other images, or rather the live tracking software, is in my laptop. It is a bit messy to have two live streams and combine them together. Earlier I tried that. Now I can see that AO-123 has come above the horizon in my polar map in my laptop. So I am waiting to see if some signals can be picked up. The current Doppler shift is shown as 2,188 Hertz. It's almost 2 kilohertz per 100 megahertz. So for 434 megahertz, it will be almost 10 kilohertz away. So that's why I have kept the downlink frequency at 435.410. Satellite is gradually rising above the horizon in the polar map on G-Predict, which I am on here. G-Predict is a Windows software It's a free software. Anyone can install it in your laptop, and you have to update the two-line elements TLE from network regularly. Today morning I updated it, and then you have to choose which all satellites you have to monitor in the configuration, and then they will come in the polar map as and when they approach your region. Next shown here among my list is space station in another 44 minutes. So I'll have some time in between to go upstairs and turn my antenna as well. So far I have not acquired any signal from the satellite. Satellite is at about 7 degree elevation, still not in the direction of my antenna. My antenna is pointed almost at 270 degrees, or the maximum elevation is supposed to occur at 260 degrees. So I am hoping that at that time I might be able to hear V2 Juliet Echo Kilo at least. I don't expect Thailand stations for this western pass because it will be beyond their footprint region. They will be beyond the footprint of the satellite. This satellite has a large footprint of about 4,684 kilometers, as it is at an altitude of 455 kilometers. It's at higher altitude than International Space Station, which is usually at around 420 kilometers. Now the slant range, that is the distance from my location to the satellite, is 1,390 kilometers, and the elevation is 13 degrees centigrade. Doppler correction is only 1,500, so I think I'll have to bring one step down. I've kept the squelch open, that is why you are hearing the hissing noise. The principle for satellite communication is that squelch is kept open so that weak signals, satellite signals which may not be able to open the squelch, can be picked up. And when the satellite is in range and you are picking up satellite signals, the hissing noise will suddenly disappear. That's how you know that you are picking satellite signals. So far that has not occurred, so I have not picked up. Now at elevation 18 degrees, I think there is some difference. Let me increase the volume. I am expecting V2 Juliet Echo Kilo at the time of nearest approach, that is TCA, time of closest approach. It's almost that 20. Doppler is only very minimal now, so I'll have to bring down again. I'm yet to acquire. I'll just try giving a blind call. V2 Juliet, Oscar listening. CQ satellite, VU2 JO listening. No, the satellite is not picking up my signal. If it is picking up my signal, it will come down in the downlink, and that will produce a howling sound in my speaker due to feedback loop. So I have not picked up. Maybe I'll require a little more elevation of the satellite than 20 degrees. Oh, actually it is now 21.9 degrees. And the Doppler has gone negative 470 Hertz. So I should be decreasing the frequency soon. When it reaches 1000 Hertz, I'll decrease one more step. I have not heard V2 Juliet Echo Kilo so far. I hope that the transponder is on. I didn't check directly. I was told by V to Juliet Echo Kilo, so I presume it should be correct. But that doesn't mean that I'll be able to get through, because my setup is only a very limited setup without a rotator, and there is no cross Yagi. It's only a simple Moxon Yagi with a simple Moxon rectangle for VHF and 5 passively coupled UHF elements on the same boom, kept at a fixed elevation and azimuth towards the direction of the maximum elevation of the pass. The satellite has started descending. I'm yet to hear anything. Satellite has reached 15 degrees on the setting path. Doppler is 1600. That means I'll have to go one more step down on the Doppler correction. But now I have almost lost hope in hearing anyone. Elevation is only around 11 degrees now. If it was International Space Station, I had some chance of hearing even at this low elevation. I've heard even at 5 or 6 degree elevations also, provided the other station has a good setup. Satellite is 600 kilometers away now, moving away from me. Elevation is just 8 degrees. So I think I'll have to call this pass as a lonely pass for me without hearing anybody. Not because there may not be anyone there on the pass, but because of the limitations of my setup, I would say. I should not be saying that there is no one without having an excellent setup over here. Satellite 6 degrees, nearing the other horizon in the northwestern region. It came from the southwest and is moving towards the northwest. It is almost setting now. Elevation just 3 degree 30, 3.3 degrees. This is how satellite operations become sometimes desperate, because if you don't hear anything, simply sitting here for 15 minutes, that is 10-minute pass, few minutes preparation, so around 15 minutes without hearing anything. Sometimes you get lazy after that to try the next pass. One reason is that there are only very few operators in this region. If there are several operators, maybe you will hear at least one or two. In most thickly ham-populated regions, they have overcrowding of the satellites, that is FM satellites, because there is only one channel for communication. For linear satellites like RS-44, there are multiple channels available. So most of those people in those regions prefer the linear satellites, which can give SSB and CW, but not FM. But in my region, most people prefer FM satellites. Now the satellite is set, so I'll discontinue the stream. Bye.